All right, so to find the sum of the interior angle measures of a convex polygon, I want you to draw all the possible diagonals from one vertex of the polygon. Now this is going to create some triangles. The sum of the angle measures of all the triangles equals the sum of the angle measures of the polygon. I know we've been in geometry for a little while, but some of y'all don't remember how many total degrees are in a triangle. It's 180 degrees. So in this quadrilateral, I have two triangles. This one's 180 and this one's 180. So if I added that together, I'd get 360. Now Pentagon has 1, 2, 3. So that would be 180 times 3. That's going to give me 540 degrees. And then a hexagon is a six-sided figure, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be 180 times 4. I'll put a times symbol there. 720 degrees. Now, up here, let's make this a 1 and a 2. All right, so what I want you to see is that in a quadrilateral has 4 sides but 2 triangles. A pentagon has 5 sides but 3 triangles. A hexagon has 6 sides but 4 triangles. So that's important. Do we see that pattern there? The number of triangles inside a polygon is 2 less than the number of sides that it has. Why is that important? Well, it lets us come up with a formula that we can use to find the sum of the interior angle measures. And the one that's really important is the one that I have highlighted at the bottom. That's going to be our formula. So n is just simply the number of sides in the polygon. We subtract 2, we multiply that by 180. That gives us the sum. Now what I wrote down here in black says one interior angle of a regular polygon would be the n minus 2 times 180 divided by the n. N is just the number of sides. So how am I going to use that? Let's go see. So example 15 says find the sum of the interior angle measures of a convex heptagon. I told you knowing those names was going to come in handy. So I'm going to go back to my notes. I'm going to see that hepta is 7. So then 7 sides, subtract 2 times 180. What's that going to equal? It's a pretty big number. So 7 minus 2, 180. 900 degrees. So a heptagon has the sum of interior angles equaling 900 degrees. Now the next one wants me to find each interior angle of a regular sixteenagon. All right, well, first I have to know what the sum is, and then I'm going to divide the sum by the number of sides. So this one will look like 16 minus 2 times 180 divided by 16. So this is one of those where I would almost do this in 2 steps. I'm going to go back in here, and instead of it being 7 sides, it's going to be 16 sides. And then I'm going to take my answer, and I'm going to divide it by 16. And I get 157.5. So each interior angle of a regular sixteenagon would be 157.5 degrees. All right, example 17 says to find the measure of each interior angle of a pentagon. All right, so I got some sides here, some angles that are the same, and I've got some that are different. Now, pentagon, what would all of the angles total anyway in a pentagon? I don't know. I could use my formula. All right. Or I can look back on this slide, and a pentagon has 540 total. So if I add all of these angles up, it would equal 540 degrees. So I'm just going to pull out my calculator and type this stuff in. Remember, I got to type in an X. Oh, that should be a 32x plus 32x plus 18x plus 35x equals 540. All right, so x is 4. Or C is 4 rather. So now I'm going to substitute that in. So 18 times 4 is 72. So that one's 72, that one's 72. 32 times 4 is 128. So those are 128, and then I'm going to change this to a 35 times 4. That one's going to be 140. All right, find the measure of the missing angle. This is number 18. Well, I'm going to put an X there, and I'm going to see how many sides I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a quadrilateral. If I look back on my slide, quadrilateral has 360 degrees. So when I add all of these numbers up, it would equal 360 degrees. So let me double check. 103, 133, and 58, they all equal 360. So oh, that should be a plus sign. I'll make sure I've got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And so now X is 66. All right, X is 66. Last example for today. Find the measure of the missing angle. So I've got one angle marked as 100. And so I'm going to go here and I'm going to put 100 degrees where all of these have the same mark. And so now these other two would both be X because they're the same. Now I need to know how many sides I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 minus 2 times 180 gives me 6 minus 2. So that's 720. Sure is. So when I add all of these together, let's see here. I'm going to erase these sides because I've counted them and I don't want to confuse myself. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, x plus 400 equals 720. I'm going to simplify this just a little bit before I type it in. 2x plus 400 equals 720. X equals 160. So those two angles are each 160 degrees. All right, that's where you're going to stop for today and go do your assignments.